And welcome back to the Financially Simple Experience. So friends, we're talking about this concept of processes, and now we're going to shift towards standard operating procedures. You see, in a business, everything can be improved that you can measure. If you can measure it, you can improve it. But oftentimes we business owners, we're not measuring. Instead, we're really sticking our fingers like the olden days, sticking up into the wind, trying to figure out which way the wind's blowing. Just licking our fingers, sticking it up in the air. And that's how we're guiding our businesses. And it just doesn't seem to make sense. You see, where processes last time is a nice overview on what your company needs to accomplish. Standard operating procedures, or SOPs, are going to get really micro-focused. They're going to zoom in and focus on the specific steps that need to take place within your process. So I gave the example last episode of my daughter. Whenever I sat down with her in her early, 10, 11, 12 years old, when she first started cleaning our office, vacuuming the floors of our office. And whenever she started doing that, I told her one day, hey, honey, I need you to vacuum the floors. And she said, okay, Dad, where's the vacuum? I said, it's in the closet. Which closet, Daddy? Well, it's over there by the bathrooms. Okay, cool. She went and got that vacuum. And then she began just kind of jumping all over the office like a jackrabbit, vacuuming here and touching there. And so we had a little teaching moment, and we sat down and we said, okay, here are the processes. Here's what you need to do. Step 1, get the vacuum. Step 2, she decided to go right to left around the office. Start here and work your way all around. Move the chairs, this, that, and the other. Step 3, check and make sure the bag's not full. Step 4, put it in the back in the closet, and you're done. That's a high-level process. In some of our businesses, though, that doesn't provide the efficiency that we need. There are some times when we need to dive a little bit deeper and actually give systematic step-by-step guidelines for the employees to fulfill the goal of the process. So, for example, in that process of my daughter trying to vacuum the office, one of the steps she had was to see if the vacuum bag needed to be emptied. Well, that's a process step. Now, whenever we deal with the SOP or the procedure for that, we would say you open the vacuum, you check the bag, you squeeze the bag about halfway through. Is the bag filled with dust and debris? If so, pull the bag out, throw the bag in a trash bag. Make sure the dust doesn't get back on the floor you just vacuumed. Open a new trash bag, open a new vacuum bag, put the vacuum bag into the vacuum cleaner, close the vacuum cleaner, put it away. You see, it's so much more granular in nature. So in short, the SOP is going to be the instruction manual for your company. Britannica says an SOP as a written guideline or instructions for the completion of a routine task designed to increase performance, improve efficiency, and ensure quality through systematic homogenization. That's Encyclopedia Britannica. In my old country terms, it's making sure that you document every step that must be done so that you can keep your quality control up in your company. It's your organization's instruction manual. Whenever you build this, though, as you start writing out your processes and saying, oh my goodness, we have this process step to check the vacuum bag, and that one step is critical, which was a teaching point for my young daughter at the time, then I'm going to take it a step further, and in that process, I'm going to write out a specific or a standard operating procedure. So it's just a little bit closer to the ground. So that is what a standard operating procedure is. Now, what tasks require an SOP? You see, there's so many processes in our company. We may call it quality control. We may call it the financial process, updating the financial records. And if you see a process that has some sort of major movement in your company, you're going to want an SOP for that, especially if it's a repeated task over and over, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. If you're going to perform it more than once in a process, you're going to want to have a SOP, a standard operating procedure for it. Well, why does it need to be in writing? Whenever you delineate something down to writing, it gives you the rules for which your team can operate. It provides consistency. It provides repeatability. It decentralizes management. It decentralizes the owners. You see, having a well-maintained, readily available library, if you will, of processes and SOPs for your business allows you potentially to secure funding. It could allow you to potentially acquire buyers. How do I know that? Because it worked in my life. I remember talking with the bank saying, okay, I'm thinking about this expansion, and I could show them all the backstory, all the processes and procedures and SOPs holding the company up, and it made the bank more comfortable. It allowed me to secure funding for my own businesses. And it also helped me in attracting buyers for my company. Remember, I've gone through this multiple times. And whenever I had the SOPs in place, the buyers were more confident in the nature or the quality of the business. So SOPs are powerful, but most importantly, it allows your company to train scale. Let me explain that. You see, you have this desire as a business owner to increase efficiency. You have this desire as a business owner to grab profitability. But as your business grows, your key players today may or may not be the key players of tomorrow. And if they are the key players of tomorrow, then more than likely the tasks and the duties they're doing today are going to be shifted to somebody else. So by having your key players create processes, now whenever they shift to a new job position in the company, you now have a mechanism to train the new hire or the new placeholder for that particular task in a method that has already proven success. So SOPs are powerful. They are so powerful. That's why you need them in writing. SOPs drives sustainability, scalability, and transferability. You see, when a buyer buys your company, they're going to want to make sure what they bought is going to be in place in 12, 24, 36, 5 years. They're not going to want to buy something that's going to crash and burn tomorrow. So if you can show them that you have processes that deliver the results that you've been experiencing, it will help drive value. Now, I don't know how many points you'll get, but it does help drive value. Chris Snyder, of the CEO of the Exit Planning Institute, actually talks about the capitals of business, the various capitals within the business. He talks about structural capital. Structural capital is processes, and it's been proven, he's proven it in his books, that if you increase structural capital, you can increase the multiple for your business. Friends, I personally experienced this. I personally experienced this as a business advisor, and I personally experienced this as a business owner. So having well-written SOPs, standard operating procedures, are paramount for you. And as I mentioned earlier, probably the most important thing is it allows you to work on your business rather than in your business. You move from that position of a job as an owner to now a true owner, a shareholder in your company. That's why you need SOPs. Okay, so same thing as last time. Well, how do we write SOPs? The first thing is you keep them super simple. You use everyday language. I watch business owners try to create SOPs and they get so extravagant in the verbiage, or they get so long-winded. You keep it simple. The way I describe it to business owners is you write it like you're writing it for my 10-year-old daughter back in the day, trying to tell her how to vacuum the floor. You keep them simple, but you want to be detailed and thorough. You want to have as much detail as possible. That way, my 10-year-old could follow the process. You see, there is something to be said about the KISS theorem of business. Keep it simple, stupid. I often say, keep it simple, I'm the stupid, because I typically was the one who was trying to make things more complicated to try to wow the staff or wow the client or wow the media, whatever it was at the time. As I kept things simple, especially around SOPs, it allowed it to move forward. The next thing you want to do is choose the appropriate format. Now, there are some people who decide to place SOPs in a basic checklist format. And there are some SOPs that need to be in a checklist. Step 1, check, move to step 2. Step 2, done, check, move to step 3. That's the case for some. Others need to have like a decision tree in place. Well, if Y yields to X, then we go to Z. You've seen the yes-no calculations or yes-no flow charts. I was just reviewing a yes-no flow chart of our marketing team, a new strategy, a new SOP, standard operating procedure for this particular task. And it had, if yes, go to here. If yes, go to here. If no, go to here. If no, go to here. And it was flowing it out so everybody could understand it. If it requires multiple decision makers, then you need to have a chart that allows fluidity, that allows for multiple people to see it. You're probably going to use digital at that point. I know we use digital SOPs in our current systems, CRM sometimes like a Zoho or a Salesforce or some other popular CRM that you might use for your company specific needs. You may have a flow chart that you can create collaboration as you're building this format. In our company, WellSource, we use Zoho. It's a CRM system, and we create a flow chart for SOPs so that people all around the country can see where we're at within a certain time of the process. So then we're going to decide who's going to write them. So now we've decided where we're going to hold them. Now we have to decide who's going to write them. Who's going to write them? Who is the person that makes the most sense to outline the SOP? Friends, we're working on a huge initiative within our company at this point, and we have a couple of dozen people calculating SOPs, actually writing out the steps of the standard operating procedures. In our particular company, we have people, subject matter experts, identifying the processes. They record a video, they give us an outline. The video then is shared through our CRM system with an external writer who receives that information, and it keeps the processes global, keeps the processes uniform, keeps the processes with the same voice. And now he moves those into our process management system. So who's going to write your processes for you? You know, you can hire somebody, like I mentioned last episode. You can hire somebody through various online platforms that you can find an assistant, a virtual assistant. Perhaps it's a college kid, and you just leave them a recording. You say, hey, here's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and you let them write it out and take what you put in your my long-winded, is how I often do it, long-winded dictation, and let them delineate that down to a working document. I will tell you this, technology is your friend. Whether you're using something like Lucid Charts, Confluence, Process Street, Loom, there's a lot of different venues out there. Technology is powerful. I mean, again, in our company, we use Loom. Loom is a video capability software for us to use to record and share video messages real quick back and forth within our company. So when the subject matter expert is wanting to write an SOP out, they get on Loom, they turn the camera on, and they share their screen. They say step 1, step 2, step 3 in their own words, and then it goes to our writer who takes that information, delineates it down into a standard operating procedure that's in place within our process manual guidelines. So friends, you can do this. You can hire and build a team to help you with SOPs. Man, Justin, that's a lot of work. Just like last time, you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. You can drive the value of your company. You can reach your goals. You can get hyper efficient. You don't have to have the business run you. Processes and SOPs are the key. They're the key to efficiency and liberty in business. It gives you freedom. You know, what I chuckle about so many times, and I'm going to get on a soapbox here for a second, friends. I chuckle about this so many times that we business owners, we are a tenacious group. I said the last episode, we want things done our way now. That's who we are. And we want freedom. That's why we're business owners. We want freedom. By God, we're not going to have someone else tell us what to do. I mean, you probably said it yourself. I'd work 80 hours for myself versus working 40 hours for the man. I've heard that a couple of hundred times in my life. We're a unique creature. We want freedom. But we're also stinking bullheaded. The very thing that will give us freedom, we want to fight. The processes and the SOPs give us freedom. It allows us to be free of the business. It allows the business to operate without us at the epicenter of the business. But yet we fight. Now you say, Justin, I don't fight. Look, friends, I've talked to thousands of business owners over my career. Whenever it comes to this particular point, I get the yep, sounds good, and nothing changes. And they go right back into the whirlwind, this boxing match that they're having with their business, with their employees, with their customers, with their vendors, with the banks, with the attorneys, with you name it. This boxing match, and it doesn't have to be that way. The answer is right before you, friends. It is processes and SOPs. And Justin, I don't know how to do this. Look, we have a team. We have a team of business advisors who can help you. If you need help, reach out to us. Until next time, friends, I realize life is hard. It is. It doesn't have to be. Let's continue to make our lives at least financially simple. Y'all go out and make it a great one.